Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be doing a shop update. So if you're new here, my name's Zach and you're on the Tukes and Tires YouTube channel. And every once in a while we kind of do a shop update, kind of what's been going on here, kind of in between videos, maybe what's going to be coming up next. So I figured we would talk about Dad's wagon because that's a video that just came out and kind of how it's looking. We're going to be talking about the C1 Chevelle and my girlfriend's TJ Jeep, how that's been going since we've done the whole small block swap and that thing. But I figured we'd start with Dad's wagon here. This thing is looking pretty sweet. So he actually got the trim on it after we did the paint job, but if you haven't watched that video, go watch that. Me and Dad just did a really cheap paint job here in the shop. And we battled the flies. You know, it was all black, and now we got a little separation there with the trim, and it's looking pretty wicked. Like, it's looking pretty badass. We also got the glass into it. So that's looking, it's giving it some good shape on the back now. Dad is going to run some sealer on here onto this, like, rubber gasket just to be, you know, extra sure we're not going to get any leaks on this thing, just in case it's sitting outside in the rain. Couldn't be happier on how this thing's turning out. It's just like, it's really sweet to see it actually in some paint. He is waiting on the gas door box. I think that's what you call it. He didn't have one. So basically that's what's been holding us up here on the back to get like the whole thing together. Cause you kind of have to, you got to get the fins together and then you can slide the bumper on. So once he gets that, we'll actually be able to finish off the back here and then it's going to look pretty wicked. You know, I gotta say, I don't know, you guys comment down below to see what you think about the wagon, but I think it's, you know, it's looking mean as heck. I think that's what you call it. The Chevelle, so I started a video like right after we got back from Power Tour at the start of this year, and you know, basically the Jeep and other things took priority, so this kind of, you know, sat on the back burners like over the summer a little bit. I worked on it here and there. But we'll give you a little sneak peek on, you know, what's going to be coming up. Holy shoot, she's got a floor. But you're going to have to stick around for that video, so it should hopefully be coming out shortly. I still have some more metal fab that I'm going to be doing on there in the Chevelle, but, you know, that's going to get us, like, one step closer to actually be getting, you know, driving this thing around, because then we can have a gas pedal, so that's going to be super cool. Freaking Dad over here working. Holy shoot. The Jeep. Let's talk about the Jeep. So it's been, I think, probably almost about a month of driving on this thing. Maybe like, you know, like 2 weeks. I don't really know. Videos and timelines kind of things, they line up differently. But we haven't had any major issues with this thing. It's actually been pretty sweet. We had the other day, the clutch line actually blew off. So I'm using, like, obviously like a stock clutch slave, and that's from like a Silverado, and they use like a push pin kind of style thing where the line goes in, and the pin actually rattled out and it blew the line off. So I had to go rescue my girlfriend the one morning and drive this thing home with no clutch. But we got her back home, we got her fixed up, and since then we haven't had any, you know, any problems. It's got a good oil pressure, it cools nicely, everything else seems to be working really awesome. You know, we're having an issue with it. So she is not liking how much gas it sucks. So this thing gets terrible gas mileage. I couldn't even tell you how much it is, but you can drive like, you go about like 45 minutes of just solid driving and it'll suck back like almost like 3/8 of a tank of gas. Like, it's like super bad. Yeah, so we do have a solution for it. Originally, I thought, you know, this motor that's in it, it's a 350. It's got a little bit of a cam in it, so, you know, it's not, it's, you know, it's fighting against us. So I originally thought about putting a Sniper EFI on it or some kind of like carb EFI, and I figured, well, if we're gonna go through all that work, I'm like, it doesn't make much sense to like do all that work and then it potentially still have bad gas mileage. So the most common thing to do around here is an LS swap here in this garage. So we're sitting right behind me here is this LS that's going to be going into this thing. So actually like tomorrow when when this video comes out, you'll probably see the next video like a week later, and we're actually going to be doing this whole LS swap on a weekend, and hopefully my girlfriend is going to be able to drive this thing on Monday so she can go to work. But we got a whole bunch of goodies. So basically, like this engine here, We had a whole bunch of stuff laying around, obviously, because I do a lot of LS swaps. So this motor is kind of like a conglomeration of like just like random parts we had around. I bought this intake tube thing off of Amazon. It was fairly cheap. Hopefully that's going to work out. Pretty much everything else, you know, so I bought some like conversion plates. So obviously since we have the small block in there, that we can just bolt up to the original mounts there. Hopefully we're not going to have any issues with that. I am worried about the clutch slave. I'm going to be fitting down here. Obviously guys that have done like a NV 3500 swap know if you got the external clutch slave, you might run into some issues. We're using a full size, so from pictures I've seen online, hopefully we're going to be all right there. But if we're not going to be all right, you'll see it in the Jeep video. But we got a bunch of other cool, you know, goodies over here. We got a whole bunch of fuel fittings that's going to make the fuel system work. I got like 2 nut fittings here from Summit Racing and a filter. Got some lift blocks for the back because the front end never went down, and it kind of looks dumb sitting down in the back end. So we're going to throw those in as well. And then I picked up these block hugger headers. They were actually like super cheap. They're like 250 bucks on Amazon. They came with all the hardware. And they actually sent the right hardware this time, not like last time. So I don't have to go buy other bolts. I don't know where it is in the bag. These ones right here. Last time I bought these, bought headers off Amazon. They sent the wrong bolts, but they actually came right this time. But these things are actually pretty nice for how much money they were. It's free shipping. We got a fuel pump, a whole bunch of other goodies in here that we're going to be throwing onto the Jeep. Lazy, what's going on? You chilling? So hopefully we're going to be able to get that done over the weekend. I don't think it's going to be too big of a task. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that video. Dad, what are you working on over here?
Just pissing around with these taillights.
Yeah? What are you stealing the lenses out of for your other ones?
Yeah.
Well, that's alright. But, yeah, so that's basically what's been going on here in the shop. Hopefully, like I said, we're going to get a video out on the Chevelle. Hopefully soon, probably after the Jeep one, since, you know, the Jeep takes my priority. So, yeah, that's basically what's been going on here. So thank you guys so much for watching this update. And you'll catch us next week when we're doing this LS swap on my girlfriend's TJ Jeep. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Comment down below if there's anything else you want to know, maybe in the next shop update that we'll do. You know, we can answer some questions and stuff like that. But thank you guys so much for watching all my content and, you know, commenting all the nice things that you do. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and always don't forget to salute the beaver. We'll catch you next time.